preliminary practices is you should understand that all of the practices are simply mind training to develop awareness. Now, the word awareness comes from the word cognizance. Cognizance means to be in a state of awareness using your various sense perceptions, usually the mental cognizing factor of what we call mind. In our tradition, when we stray from that basic awareness through various practices into states of peace or blank-mindedness, that is not awareness. That is simply escaping from awareness. And I'm going to read one or two paragraphs from the Book of Perfect Clarity, which describes this state of developing awareness, which we already have. It's not something we need to develop, it's just we need to change its state, what it is fixating on. When you don't stray from the fresh natural mind called awareness, what takes place then is simply an avoidance of fixating on good or bad, or the activities of accepting and rejecting. It is self-sufficient. The practice of self-cognizing natural awareness, in short, is simply your present thought or thinking in itself in this cognizant state. You cannot avoid thinking, but you can train the mind not to be emotionally involved, but arises as thought. Also in this training, you change the way you perceive or the sensational aspects of your seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, and thinking itself, which is how you connect to the outer world. All of this is called mindfulness. It is also called self-awareness. It is also called contemplation or insight. All of the different Dharma systems agree that it is sufficient to practice just like this in a state of contemplation. You can call it meditation. But meditation is when you purposely arise in the mind a symbol or object to train the mind in order to focus. That is usually what is called meditation. The highest meditation, of course, is being able to hold your focus without doing that. So we have two statements, so therefore we develop two practices in mind training. The first practice is called the practice of the creation stage, which is what the Nundro practice is set up to train us in. And the second stage is to relax in a state of self-awareness or cognizance without fixating on anything. In other words, just allowing yourself to be present without any construct. If thoughts arise, okay. If sensations arise, okay. Good arises, okay. Bad arises, okay. So the key word is okay. So actually, Zog Chen or Mahamudra is okay.
Infinite okayness.
So yeah, we're practicing okayness. So this whole book of clarity is all of the various, what they call masters of this tradition, and all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism put together as anonymy, or they call analogy, analyzing what this fruition stage is. Now, in the practice of Nundro, which is the basis of all Sutra and Tantra practice, you must understand that most people do not have what is called spiritual good karma. Now, spiritual good karma arises from having practiced in previous lives on this or some planet somewhere in the universe. So all of us have come here with this spiritual awareness. And what I'm saying here is we came from someplace else in the universe to this galaxy, to this solar system, to take birth on this planet. But what we have developed in all those places that we've been over thousands and millions of lives comes with you. It's kind of like a huge hard drive. So everything is in there. So you come here, so some people have special qualities that didn't originate on this planet. And they have special abilities. And of course, all the religions want to call that acts of God and miraculous and all of that, but there's no such thing. It's just that some people have extremely good spiritual karma. And those on this planet today are very rare. So you can shake your hand and pat yourself in the back because you fall into that category. We fall into that category.
Yeah.
So, when you do the preliminary practices, and whether you have the good karma to practice sutra or tantra, that's up to your own spiritual karma. The first thing is this ability to recognize yourself as extraordinary and therefore use this ability to benefit others. And the way it reads in this text is on page 6. So open your text to page 6. Now the text is arranged the way we had the Nudo practice called pages, which is how they printed these block prints in Tibetan. So number 6, there's some pictures of teachers above. Yeah, that page. Okay, so go down to the third, that one. Okay, so this one is called the 4 ordinary preliminary practices. So the preliminary practices fall into 2 categories: ordinary, preliminary, and extraordinary preliminary. Extraordinary is actually the start of mind training, taking refuge, and so forth. We're going to read this one. We'll read this together. This precious human body, which is free and well endowed. First, we meditate on this precious human existence, which is free from the 8 unfavorable conditions and well endowed with 10 opportunities. Oh, very good. That was very small. It is difficult to obtain and easily destroyed. So from now on, we must make use of it. Now, when I say from now on, I mean starting today, we must make use of this. Why? To benefit others in a state of unity. That means if you're benefiting all other living beings by doing this practice, obviously you're benefiting yourself in a very powerful way because there's no such thing as separation. So this is the start of cutting that idea of everything is separate. Everything is actually interconnected. And so that's the power of these practices. And number 2, we meditate on impermanence and death. This means that everything is impermanent, this world and all it contains. In particular, the life of beings is fragile as a bubble of water. The time of death is uncertain, and when death will be nothing but corpses. At that time, only the Dharma is of benefit. So starting today, let us practice diligently. Then the third preliminary practice is to remember that at the time of death, we do not obtain freedom because our previous actions take control of us. This is caused by karma. Let us therefore abandon harmful action and use our time to carry out beneficial actions each day. Each day, let us examine the stream of our being. So the stream of your being is your body, speech, mind, and your tendencies. So that, the third preliminary. The fourth one is the defects of cyclic existence. We use the word samsara, which means an emotional preoccupation as a habit. All places, friends, joys, and possessions in this cycle of existence continually torment us because of the 3 types of suffering. They are like the feast offered by the executioner when he leads us to our execution. Having cut off all attachment, let us diligently accomplish enlightenment. Now that simply means that this conditioned existence has the defects of pain and suffering, which actually there's four kinds: physical, mental, and emotional, and spiritual suffering. Not everybody, of course, suffers from spiritual suffering because they have no spiritual consciousness. But for those that do in various religious traditions, they experience extreme suffering. So these four, the fourth one of conditioned existence is simply there because you took birth karmically, having obtained a body with the name, and then sensations through the sensual perception, and then thinking, and then the emotional habit of involving yourself with all of that, and finally developing habitual tendencies, which are mostly unfruitful. All of that is called conditioned existence, and it is very unfavorable. So these four thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma, if you entered a 40-month retreat, you would spend 10 hours a day for the first month on each of these four thoughts. So the first week you would think of nothing. That's 70 hours of thinking of that you're extraordinary and you should be doing this all different ways. Chew on that one. Then the second week, everything's impermanent. The third week, everything's a karmic situation. And the fourth week is the unfavorable conditioned existence, which is what all beings are in. So that's a whole month of a 40-month retreat. That's 28 days just on these preliminary practices. And who set this up was my root Lama Rinpoche. And he decided on this 40-month retreat. When he came back on his 15-year retreat, he went to he had a monastery in India. It's on the border actually of Nepal and India, Sanada. So when he came back to his monastery, everybody says, "Wow, where have you been? What have you been doing?" He says, "Oh, just meditating." He says, "I just want to tell you that I'm back to start a 40-month retreat. Any of you that don't want to go along with the program, there's the door." So all the monks and nuns that were in this establishment, they had a choice. They could stay or leave. And then one of them says, "Well, what happens if you decide you want to leave later?" He says, "Well, the door is always right here." But he says, once you leave, you can't come back in. It's a closed retreat. So that made it official in Tibetan Buddhism. And the reason he did that was because he could see that the Dharma wasn't going to be the way it was in Tibet. Now it's the influence of the Western world. And this is the way we start. I was fortunate enough to start with this Nundo practice. And then after developing through this, after about 8 years of receiving instruction, I was able to enter the 40-month retreat. But I had a glitch. My karma was I had to build a retreat. So I had to go to Eugene, which is just north of Ashland, and spend a year and a half hammers and nails, putting this thing together. So I was very happy to do the retreat after all that work.
Did you say you flipped a coin to decide whether you're going to go or not, or was that something else?
Oh no, at the end was whether I was going to go do another one.
Oh, is that right?
The Lama Lojo who set that retreat up wanted me to come down to California and start another one, build it.
So he did a second 40-month?
Well, he didn't say I had to do another 40-month retreat. He just wanted me to come down there and build another retreat. And I said, well, I already got work to do in Hawaii, so we flip a coin, and I won, so I got to do that. Otherwise, I would have gone down to California.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty easy. I'm like a feather in the wind with this Dharma stuff.
Lama Lojo retired. I don't know from what, but apparently he retired, I heard.
No, he'll never retire. He's an empire builder. So is Lama Rinchen. They're both in their 80s. Now, retire from what?
Yeah, that's what
Can't retire from your mind, that's for sure.
I thought. He gave away the Dharma Center in San Francisco.
Wherever you go, your
You
mind.
gave it away.
He gave it to the people in Ashland or something. Or maybe he gave that one to them. It's like, I'm not involved with this anymore.
Did he go back to India?
They said that he won't go back to India because he has benefits here, like medical benefits. And
Oh, yeah, then that means he's going to go to his retreat, which is 2 hours north of San
in
Francisco.
Mendocino.
Yeah.
Apparently he gave that to somebody too. Gave all that land.
Well, he's pretty well set.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's covered.
plenty of people take care.
And so is Lama Rinchen. Lama Rinchen.
Yeah, he replaced himself. Lama,
Well, they all try to do that.
the Lama Temple.
I replaced myself. So what is that? I quit.
Yeah, right.
This is an ongoing program. So anyway, these 4 thoughts are called the preliminary practice. And now we go for refuge. That's the next page 8. So we're going to read this. Second line. In front of me, in the center of the lake, is a tree which grants all wishes. It has 1 trunk, 1 root, and 5 branches. Where they meet is a lion throne with a sun and moon seat, on which sits the root lama as Dorje Chong, surrounded by all the Kagyu lamas. In front of him are the Idams, to his right are the Buddhas, behind him are the Dharmatek, and to his left the Sangha. Now these are all in branches of the tree. Below the throne are the protectors. They ring the tree, all the lower branches, as guardians of the Dharma. Now when they say guardians, that means to protect the Dharma from outside obstruction, but also to protect it from the egocentric influence of people involved with the Dharma. So there's 2 reasons for Dharma protectors. Each is surrounded by a retinue of their own kind, vast as an ocean. Myself and all beings, our previous mothers, fill space, are standing on a grassy shore surrounding the tree. With focused attention, we go for refuge and develop the thought of enlightenment. The essence, you are the body, speech, mind quality of all the Buddhas in the 3 times. So you think that. And when you go for refuge, you and your root lama together are these 5 things. You are the source of all 84,000 collections of Dharma and Lord of the exalted Sangha.
When it says 3 times, does that mean there's 3 turnings of the wheel?
3 turnings of the wheels, 1 for the body, 1 for the speech, and 1 for the mind. Or it could be the one that takes all of the collections of the sutra, then all the collections of the tantra, then all the teachings on voidness. That's called the Tritaka. That's what Buddha Shakyamuni spent 50 years teaching, those 3 categories. And those broke down over time with the various cultural lineages that evolved out of that. Unbroken lineage. So whatever they did 2,600 years ago, we have the same stuff today. Now we take refuge. I take refuge in you, kind Root Lama, and your lineage. This is top of the page 10. Together with all beings who are limitless in space, I take refuge in all glorious holy Lama. I take refuge in all the Idams and deities assembled in the Mandalas. I take refuge in all the Bhagwan Buddhas. I take refuge in all the holy Dharma teachings. I take refuge in all the exalted Sangha. I take refuge in all the assembly of Dakas and Dakinis, the Dharma protectors and guardians, all of these possessing the eye of supreme knowledge. So this prayer, the last part, which goes Palden Lama Nampa Namla Chapsucho, that one, you would say with prostrations and count them up to the number of 111,111, visualizing this tree in front. Next. Until the heart of enlightenment is reached, I go for refuge to Buddhas in the same way I go for refuge to the teaching of Dharma and the assembly of Bodhisattvas. Just as previous transcendent Buddhas developed the thought of enlightenment and practice the 10 successive stages of Bodhisattva training, I also, in order to benefit beings, will develop this thought of enlightenment and follow these successive stages in training. Now my life is fruitful. I have attained the most excellent human existence. Today I am born into the lineage of the Buddhas and become a son or daughter of the Buddhas. From now, in all possible ways, I will make actions conform to this family so that the faculties, the noble lineage will not, this noble lineage will not be defiled. In the presence of all refuge, I have invited all beings to come to happiness until they obtain the bliss of Buddhahood. Gods, jelly gods, other beings rejoice. May the precious thought of enlightenment which thought has arisen in us arise. Wherever it has arisen, may it not be destroyed, but increase more and more. Without being separated from the thoughts of enlightenment, may we strive to practice the Bodhisattva conduct. Then, having been given complete protection by the Buddhas, may we abandon wrong action. May all the Bodhisattvas intended for the benefit of beings be realized. Through the intention of the protectors, may all beings attain happiness. May all beings have happiness. May all the unfortunate realms be empty forever. May all the prayers of all Bodhisattvas at all levels of enlightenment be realized. Then finally, the 4 immeasurable thoughts. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings not have suffering or the cause of suffering. May all beings never be without the supreme bliss, which is free from all suffering. That comes from actual practice. May all beings live in a great equanimity, which is free of all attachment and aversion. Then you just let all the sources of refuge in front of you dissolve into the root Lama in the center of the tree. Then the root Lama dissolves into you, and you rest in a state of natural awareness, which is actually no meditation. In this state of no meditation, you simply remain present and alert. Do not develop dullness or blank-mindedness or agitation of past or future events. Just stay present. Relax. In this state of the fulfillment, having trained, when thoughts arise, meaning that your attention has moved toward an object, don't follow your thoughts. That's what is defined as being present. Simply continue to be attentive. Do not block thoughts. Do not think, I don't need to stop thinking. None of that. Training in this way, you will seem to have more and more thoughts. But since you are not attaching to them or following them, they will simply appear in an unceasing, unrelenting stream. This is called the stream of your being. Acknowledging thoughts is simply recognizing them as they arise without any emotional or drama involvement. This is called the first stage of stillness. Since the drama itself has come to a state of stillness, do not attach to this state of peace. This is the first warning of the accomplishment of this state of stillness. In this way, the thoughts will start to become less and less, kind of like a waterfall at first, and then changing into a gently flowing river. Finally, you will come to a second state of accomplishment where each thought is new. In this way, you simply arise at clarity. The simplicity of the clarity is not just the thought, but the space the thought arises from and returns to. And finally, as you train in this way, you will start to understand the state of voidness as simply a state of relaxed awareness or cognizance without any manifestation or intention whatsoever. When you reach this state, since you've accomplished unmodified attention, the mind settles. When undisturbed, like water, it becomes clear. Yogis and yoginis in the fruition stage of tantric or sutric practice are simply abandoning all reference points, all attributes, and all judgment. This frees the mind in every direction and enters into a state similar to space, without center or boundary. This is called Mahamudra, the great view. So all of these practices, even the preliminary practices, when you meditate, there comes a point in your meditation where you simply relax and let it all dissipate. And more become less emotionally involved with your own process. Now that was the first stage of the preliminary practices called refuge and bodhicitta. Now the next two stages of this preliminary practice are for sentient beings that don't have what we call good karmic merit. And also they don't have the ability to function in the fulfillment or fruition stage because of so much involvement with worldliness. So the next two practices are concerned with, first of all, eliminating all obstructions to practice through the purification process. And in this case, it's Vajrasattva practice, using the clear light nature of the refuge tree as all represented in one symbol. The third practice of the preliminaries is acquiring merit. Merit means you have to have some kind of support in order to be able to move into the fruition stage without a lot of obstruction, without a lot of worldliness blocking you. But you also need support on the physical level, not just the mental level. And that means you have a healthy body and enough food and so forth. So those two practices, the purification practice being the second, and offering mandala practice to accumulate merit being the third, we've already had classes on those two, so we're going to skip to the Guru Yoga practice on page 29. And this is going to be the subject of practice for this class tonight.
Can you go over the refuge tree basics, like the Buddha in the middle and who's on the right?
Okay, so a refuge tree, it looks like a Christmas tree. In the branches of the tree are all the 8 or 12 lineages of the Kagyu lineage, not the other lineages. This is the Kagyu refuge tree. Nemas, they use another symbol. Galupa is another symbol. Sakya is another symbol. So the refuge tree has all these like crows sitting on the branches of the tree. Oh yeah, it's in the temple. So it looks like this. Okay? It's a Tonka. It's an artistic representation. So here's the Root Lama's Dorje Chong. Dorje Chong means all Sutra, all Tantra, all 5 Buddha families, everything about voidness, all in one symbol. And of course, the consort of this Root Lama is space itself, or the elements, what we call our physical world. Then all of the Lamas are all these branches. Then on the back branches, on one side are all the sutras, and on the other side and back are all the tantras. These texts are called the Tanjur and Kanjur, and they've all been developed into Sanskrit, all translated into Sanskrit and printed. Lama Rinchen, you go in his shrine room, we've got one whole wall of all of that. And all the teachings on voyages. And directly in front of what's called the Yidam practices, where you blend the peaceful deities with the wrathful deities in actual practice. On the right are all the Buddhas. Those are people of sentient beings who have come to maturity. And that's all the Buddhas of the 3 times. Medicine Buddha is the central figure. And on the left are all the Bodhisattvas practices. These have Chenrezig, Tara, and so forth. And then around the base of the tree in a circle patterning are all the protectors. Then the tree comes up out of a huge ocean of samsara, like a huge lake or ocean. And around that are all sentient beings, your family, taking refuge and doing prostration.
Around the base of the tree?
No, on the edge of the lake.
Okay.
So all of the lake is all of the sentient beings. For instance, in the lake are all the spirits which fill space. Around the edge of the lake are all the animals and humans which fill planets. Okay? So all of those take refuge. There's no other way to get to enlightenment than using a support like this. Because most people that say they're going to become enlightened are usually doing that on purely the mental level of gathering knowledge, which is fine, but it doesn't take you to the level of insight of your true nature. All of this is about supporting you in this endeavor to become what we're all taking birth forward, and that's to become a mature human being. And
So-
then, yeah,
Go on.
and around in space are all of the more support, because outside of the worldly context, space is the Buddha field. In other words, samsara is a Buddha field located in infinite space, but it's only a part of this program of infinite space.
It looks like more Buddhas.
Yeah, well, we call that the Dharmakaya,
Okay.
the all-pervasive nature of pure awareness or cognizance. See, this universe was created out of awareness. And the awareness is without any emotional involvement. Well, that doesn't compute to us humans who are totally emotionally involved with everything. But the universe actually is beginningless and endless state of joy or bliss. That's the energy field. That's how life arises and is supported because of that. So the ultimate universe outside of this huge area that we take up called the samsara is simply a state of bliss. And it does whatever it wants to do. So that's timeless. No, that doesn't compute. That's beyond conception. That's what we call boundless. So that's your true nature. But your true nature is involved emotionally, so you got to take that and confine it to these remedies, which is the path of the Bodhisattva, and this is how we start. On this planet, this is how we start. I don't know how we did it in the past, but I remember saying this is the way we got to do it this way, because this is the way the humans have evolved over the last 500,000 years. And we have defects, built-in defects. Our computers, this has a glitch, a huge glitch. So that's what the Dharma is for. If we didn't have all this emotionality, there wouldn't be any Dharma. We'd be just nature, natural world. Natural world is perfect. Plants are perfect. Rocks and minerals are perfect. Planets, sun, sources, and galaxies, all of that. Perfect. Why? No drama there. But beautiful. Creates and supports the situation for life, us humans to take birth, right? Karmically or otherwise. The only other way a human can take birth is out of light. Well, this is training to do it that way. And you understand this, the more prostrations you do, and the more you use this refuge tree for reference, then you understand when you are a yidam, you are this. You are all this. If you do a Buddha practice, like medicine Buddha, it's all this. It's a total act. Then when, you got to understand, the only reason for this practice is for others. Because they're conditioning you. Mom, dad, friends, relatives, everybody, they're conditioning you constantly. They're drawing you into their program all the time. And they want you to believe that that's the only game in town. All of them. And if you don't believe, some will actually kill you. So it's a very powerful predicament we find ourselves. He said, we have to be on it. Well, this support group is to help you be on it 24/7. You go to bed at night, you might not wake up. You wake up in the day, you might die. This breath, next breath, you don't know. This could be the next life. Exhale, gone. You gotta be ready. You gotta be on your toes. The best way to learn this is out in nature. That's how I learned it. Is go out in nature, and if you're not alert in nature, nature's gonna kill you. You'll die out there. There's everything out there that's not on your agenda. So I learned that. And in the cities, I learned it also. You cross the street, you might have crossed into a very dangerous place. Like one time I walked out of Chicago to South Chicago, and I was in a very bad area. I had to run for my life to get out of there. A white boy in a black neighborhood, no cool. Not cool. They let me know in uncertain terms they're going to kill me. They want me, my money or something. I think they just want to fly left. I'm a fast rider. I learned that being Indian. You learn. Now, when you must understand, so the foot of meditation is about everybody else. Okay? Compassion and loving kindness. Unconditionally and impartially applied. That's the foot of meditation. Head of meditation to devotion. That's what we're going to do now, because you have to have devotion for this, because these things evolved out of your own spiritual development. You're connecting because what you did here and on thousands of planets everywhere in the universe. Now it's coming to fruition. That's a lot. That's a big deal. So devotion is absolutely necessary. Then you take the compassion aspect and the devotion aspect and you center it all in your heart chakra as practice. Well, practice is the heart of meditation. No practice, no benefit. Nothing's going to happen. People say, oh, I hear this all the time. I do you practice? No way. I haven't got time to do it. You do it. I'll benefit. I said, no, it doesn't work that way. Now, you can help support, but that's temporary. You want permanent benefit. You want this lasting effect. So when you shoot off this planet and start going to other places in the universe, other solar system galaxies, you're on it. Hi, Mom, I'm back. Come out of the room. Hi, Mom, I'm back. Now train me. Help me to reestablish. You know, the mom's the source of your 5 elements. She doesn't feed you those 5 elements, you're going to come out weird. That's what's happening to a lot of babies on this planet. So now we go to devotion of the practice, which is called Guru Yoga.
That's his book.
Huh?
That's his book.
Really?
That's his book.
Oh. Oh, yeah. It's on page 29 in my book.
It's all the same.
Oh, is it good?
Mhm.
It says, the Guru Yoga, which quickly brings the disciples into the Lama's blessing, which simply means that the transmission of the Lama's mind is now in your hard drive. So this is the software of Guru Yoga. As the instructions of this particular dogpo, and I got to add Shankar Kagyu, our aspiration, devotion, the blessings of the lineage is great. So without doubt and one point in mind, we recite this Guru Yoga. And it starts with, on page 30, on the crown of my head, on a lotus sun and moon seat, is the root Lama, as the powerful Dorje Chom, wearing the ornaments of the Sambhoga Kaya, which means the teaching symbol. He is holding the Vajra bell in the mudra of union. He is sitting in the Vajra posture. The Lamas of the lineage in an ocean of rare and sublime jewels rise in cheers gathered around him. Om, pervading Lord, you are the true nature of all phenomena, which is like space, without location, devoid of coming and going, without the characteristics of arriving and departing, like the moon's reflection in water. You appear wherever visualized. Conquer the forces of negativity, glorious Ruka. To all Lamas, Yiddish, Dakinis, and their retinue, I now pray with faith. To the power of compassion, which is without discrimination, appear here clearly. So that's the foot of meditation right there. Arising from the citadel of the absolute Dharma realm, you are the very essence of all the Buddhas of the 3 times. You show me that my mind is truly Dharmakaya, which means the nature of the universe, as all pervasive, outside of samsara, including samsara. Glorious and holy Lama, I offer my respect to you. I make offerings of my body, wealth, and all things imaginable, and praise you. I confess all the harmful action previously committed and will not repeat them in the future. I rejoice in the virtue of all beings and dedicate my merit as a cause for supreme enlightenment. I pray that you I pray that you not pass into nirvana and urge you to turn the wheel of the unsurpassable vehicle. And not passing in nirvana means never go to heaven. Any kind of celestial realm, never do that. That's the difference between Buddhism and Hinduism. Just as the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have trained themselves in love and impartial compassion and realized the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge, grant me your blessing so that I may realize this illusory body to be the Nirmanakaya. The Nirmanakaya means you develop into a man or woman as a teacher of the Dharma, as a representation of where everybody's going with this. Grant your blessing so that I realize all vital forces to be the Sambhogakaya, which means all the energy of the universe as a state of bliss, as a teaching symbol to show spirits, animals, and humans your power, insight, and compassion. Grant me your blessing so that I may realize my own mind to be the Dharmakaya. That's the ultimate maturity of the human condition. That means your mind and the nature of the universe equal, same, no different. Grant me your blessing so that the three bodies may arise inseparably. Well, they aren't actually three bodies, they're three vehicles of your Buddha nature. The first one being the Dharmakaya, all-pervasive. The second one refining it to a teaching symbol. That's the Sambhogakaya. Then those two together as a Nirmanakaya teacher, man or woman. So those three vehicles are called the three bodies of the Buddha. Then we do the Mahamudra transmission lineage prayer. Glorious Dorje Chong, that means the ultimate nature of awareness. Pervading Lord of all phenomena, Lodro Rinchen, who possesses the power of the 10th stage of the Bodhisattva, Sarah, foremost master of the holy land of India, I pray, come grant me absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. The exalted Arjuna, who sees the intrinsic nature of all phenomena, Lord Shivardhan, who attains the realization of Mahamudra, Lord Maitrika, who sees the meanings of the essence of mind, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Marpa Lodrapa, master of an ocean of tantras, Venerable Milarepa, foremost of the masters of the land of snow, glorious Kamboka, prophesied by the Buddha, I pray grant absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Yusuf Chetsa, master of Buddha activity, Jogan Resha, lord of extraordinary powers, Pamjoka, the Bodhisattva who fulfilled the development and completion stages, I offer to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Glorious Karma Pakshi, subduer those difficult to discipline, or Jempa, the Mahasiddhi who achieved the two kinds of accomplishment. Rangjun Dorsi, master of the teaching of this world, I pray to you, grant me this absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Yamtoka, the victorious ones who accomplished Mantrayana, Gopai Dorje, jewel of the world, Kachi Wampo, the realized one who understands the absolute nature. I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Yeshe Chekpa, Lord of Dharma, the crown emperor of China, Ratna Bhadra, wise and powerful one, Togun Dugde, the glorious of existence and tranquility, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Zonko, who is truly Dorje Chong, Paljor Dundru, whose true nature is compassion, Shuta Jatsu, source of all blessing, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneous knowledge. Tashi Paljor, the unequaled Mahasiddhi, Vishnu Dorje, prevailing lord of the six Buddha families, Kochen Yenlok, the son of eloquence, I pray to you, grant me the spontaneously arising knowledge. Wangchu Dorje, lord of all mandalas, Chochi Wangchu, who's the protector of Amitabha Buddha, Chayan Dorje, lord of the universe, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Yeshe Ningpo, master of the 10 stages, Yeshe Dorje, sublime emanation, Shuchi Drundrup, the glory of existence and tranquility. I pray to you, grant me the spontaneously arising knowledge. Juk Dorje, who possesses the power of the Buddha, Chochi Jarne, great Pandita of the 5 sciences, Dodo Dorje, venerable Lord who subdues all negative forces. I pray to you, grant the spontaneously absolute arising knowledge. Chuchu Gyatso, invisible and glorious, Pema Ningje, who realized the meaning of the essence, Teichok Dorje, who possesses the power of the Buddhas. I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Lodro Taye, ocean of positive qualities, Kechok Dorje, who is the mantra Vajra, Pema Wangchu, who acquired power over all phenomena. I pray to you, grant me the spontaneously arising knowledge. Chensei Ozer, master of loving kindness, Bigthe Dorje, supreme guide of beauty, Norbu Dundruk, who attained the rainbow body. I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. The ultimate essence of the foundation, path, and result is Mahamudra. Kind one, my own Lama, who points out the nature to be exactly this. Lama, who is truly all Buddhas, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. The assembly of Yidams who grant the 2 accomplishments, the assembly of Dharma protection and guardians, lords of all Buddha activity, as well as the assembly of vast ocean of those who follow the Buddha's instructions and are bound by commitment, Samaya, I pray to you, grant me the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge. Without removing or adding anything, without rejecting or accepting anything, in samsara or nirvana, devoid of everything existing or not existing, yet the foundation of all things, such is the ultimate nature of the mind, the basis of Mahamudra. Through the blessing of this prayer, may this be realized. Without conceiving one who realizes of a realization itself, and of realization without abandoning what is obscured, the obscuring, and the obscuration itself, completely transcending a destination, a traveler in the path, such as this practice of Mahamudra. With the blessing of this prayer, may this be apparent. Without conceiving of one who obtains, of attaining, and of attainment, the abandoned and the attained not separate, the basis and result not divisible, without existence, yet having the nature of all existence, is the result of Mahamudra. Through the blessing of this prayer, may this be apparent. Great Dorje Chang, Talopa Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Gapopa, all the lords of Dharma, all the knowing Karmapas, who understand the 3 times, holder of the 4 great lineages, the 8 lesser ones, the Dri, the Tak, the Sa, and Drupa, Shankpa, and so forth, those who attain mastery in the profound path of Mahamudra, the unqualified protector of beings, the Dagpu Kagyus, to you, Kagyu Lamas, I pray. By following your lineage, grant your blessing so that I may attain perfect liberation. It is taught that revulsion and non-attainment are the legs of meditation. To this meditator who has severed the ties of this life, who without desire for fruit or possessions, grant the blessing of being different to possessions and honors. It is taught that aspiration devotion is the head of meditation. To this meditator, continually praise to the Lama who opens the door to the treasure of moral instruction. Grant your blessings so that uncontrived acts of adoration devotion may arise. It is taught that non-distraction is the body of meditation and practice. The nature of every thought arises is new. To this meditator who remains in thatness without contrivance, grant your blessings so that meditation may be free of intellectualization. It is taught that the essence of thought is Dharmakaya. It is nothing, and yet it arises in all forms. To this meditator, in whose unimpeded appears, grant your blessing so that the individuality of samsara and nirvana be realized as inseparable. With all beings in limitless space who have been my mothers, I pray to the Lama precious Buddha. With all beings as limitless as space who have been our mothers, I pray to the Lama, the all-pervading Dharmakaya. With all beings as limitless space who have been our mothers, I pray to the Lama, the great bliss and energy of the Sambhogakaya. With all the beings in limitless space who have been our mothers, I pray to the Lama, the compassion of the Nirmanakaya. Karmapa Chano. So that is the Guru Yoga. That's what we just read, page 46. You only have to say this 111,111 times, and at the end of each of these, what's called the 6 lines, you add the lineage lamas with Chenno. Chenno means body, speech, and mind all accomplished as a Buddha. So we say Karmapa Chenno, Lama Rinchen, Lama Tashi Chenno, whoever the teachers are, man or woman. Chen means mind, no means bliss. So say this prayer. With all beings in limitless space have been their mothers, I created the Lama, precious Buddha. That's number 1. May all beings, limitless space, have been their mothers, I created the Lama, the all-pervading Dharmakaya. That's number 2. With all beings in limitless space who have been their mothers, I pray to the Lama, the great bliss of the Sambhogakaya. 3. With all beings in limitless space who have been our mothers, I pray to the Lama, the compassion of the Nirmanakaya. 4. Then I add 1. With all beings in limitless space, we pray to the Lama as the all-pervasive nature of the Svabha Vikakaya, which is all of this in one person, in one individual. And then the head of our lineage, of all the lineages, is Karmapa, Trangu Rinpoche, Lama Rinpoche, many masters, men and women. And we're going to say this in Tibetan at the top.
What page?
At the top of page 46. Actually, it starts on the bottom of page 45. It's called the Manams. And the Manams are to be collected in Guru Yoga. So we start at the bottom of page 45. Manam Kanam Yampe Samshem Tamche Lama Sanjay Rinpoche La So Adepso Lama Sadan Yampe Samshem Tamche Lama Kunchab Choki Kula So Adepso Manam Kanam Yampe Samshem Tamche Lama Dechu Luchu Dikpe Kula Sowa Depso Madam Kadam Yampe Sepshem Che Lama Tukche Trupe Kula Sowa Depso Karmapa Cheno Madam Kadam Yampe Sepshem Tamche Lama Sanjay Ripo Che La Sowa Depso Mara Kada Yampe Semchim Chuki Lama Kunjab Chuki Kula Sowa Depso Mara Kada Yampe Samche Lama Dechu Nuchu Supe Kula Sowa Depso Mara Kada Yampe Semchim Tamche Lama Tukche Tupe Kula Sowa Depso Lama Rishin Cheno. So these manams, either in Tibetan or in Canadian, are to be counted. So then you need them all. So with all beings, my mother's limited space or again our mother. With all beings of limited space or again our mothers are created the Lama precious Buddha. With all beings of limited space or again our mothers are created the Lama all-pervading Dharmakaya. With all beings of limited space or again our mothers are created the Lama the great bliss of the Sambhogakaya. With all beings of limited space and good, our mothers are praised along the compassion, loving kindness of the Nirmanakaya. compassion, power, insight, kindness, all of that is the Nirmanakaya. Lama Tempa Chedno, Lama Tendi Jeno, Lama Tati Kendo, Lama Gyaltsen, like that. But when you do this prayer, you think all the beings in the entire universe are saying it with you, just like you did all of the other 3 sections of the New Dharma.
So it's the visualization that the Karmapa saying is in front.
Whichever Lama you pick, they're all the same. If you've seen one Lama, you've seen them all.
And are you
The only
merging,
difference between one Lama and the other is some have more intelligence.
are you merging with that Lama as
Huh?
you say it? Are you merging? With
Yeah. You and all sentient beings, merging. Mind of the Lama into your stream of being. His body, speech, mind, qualities, activities, all of that. What this accomplishment is, as the Svabhavika Kaya, which is all this summed up, which is the no wo net ki ku. No is actually no wo net ki ku. But we confine it to just no. No means awareness. Okay. Chen means mind, mind of awareness. So when you do that, then the Lamas, it's a download of software. All of the Lama's spontaneously arising knowledge is opening your storehouse so that you get whatever you need to understand your position as a Bodhisattva. And then if you become a Buddha, okay. If not, okay. This is an endless program. But the important part is your mother, father, all sentient beings, just like, this is going to be why the Yidam works so well. Because all of these practices are all pervasive.
So do you use a Lama that is alive, or is it okay to use?
You can use anyone, Milarepa, Marpa, Gampopa, any of these Swedish masters that they say. They never go away. Just because they left their body, they don't go away. They're all pervasive, they're everywhere.
Because at one point, the worldwide culture did something like, 100 million Karmapa Cheno mantras.
Oh, yeah?
And they told him that, Karmapa that, and he said, oh, don't use me, use Guru Rinpoche.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use any.
That's what he said.
Yeah, they always deflect the attention.
I know.
Because there's nobody there anyway. So.
Okay.
We're emanation. Your spiritual good karma emanates, that's all. But you're fabricating this world into a Buddha field. You're purifying what was already a Buddha field. Because you're entering it with your condition being purified. Then the Buddha field and you are Buddha. That's the simplicity of Mahamudra. Just relax. Okay, I'm Buddha. Now what do I do? Nothing. Relax. Leave the body. Don't do anything. Just relax. Okay, now I'm in the bardo. Well, so what? Oh, now I'm back at Samsara, my mother's womb. So what? It's just, there's no other game in Tema. If you have compassion as the foot of meditation, there's no problem. With all beings of limited space have been our mothers, the praise of the Lama, precious Buddha. With all beings of limited, see, every time you say this, one being. Not each one of these. All 4 is one being. With all beings of limited space have been our mothers, praise the Lama, the great bliss of the Sambhogakaya. Bliss and energy work together as the Sambhogakaya. That's the Yidam. With all beings of limited space to be the mothers of praise of the Lama, the compassion, loving kindness, insight, and power of the Nirmanakaya. That's the earth teacher. Man or woman. There are thousands available on the planet today. Not just as Kagyu lineage, With all beings of limited space of inner mothers of praise of the Lama, precious Buddha. With all beings of limited space of inner mothers of praise of the Lama, all pervading Dharmakaya. With all beings of limited space of inner mothers of praise of the Lama, the great bliss of the Sambhogakaya. With all beings of limited space of praise of the Lama, the compassion, loving kindness, power, and insight of the Nirmanakaya. Add those words. Lama Gyaltsen Jeno, Lama Gyaltsen Jeno. Guru Rinpoche Cheno, Guru Rinpoche, Yeshe Chai Gyaltsen, George A. Cook, any Lotao, any translator, any translator, anybody that involved with disseminating the Dharma is part of this. All of those, you're merging into your stream of being. Mara Gada Yampe Semchen Lama Rinpoche Lasso Wade So Mara Gada Yampe Semchen Kucha Kuchi Kula So Wade So Mara Gada Yampe Lama Decho Nocho Tupe Kula So Wade So Mara Gada Yampe Semchen Tukche Tupe Kula So Wade So Mara Gada Yampe Semchen Lama Tupe Kupe So Wade So just any deity, Chenrezi, Chenno, Tar, Chenno, Lama deities and Chapama, Chenno, Chenno. However you connect, Shakyamuni, Buddha, Chenno, your Chenno means merge, mind of bliss. Any questions? There's no more powerful Guru Yoga than this. You know, where we get the dedication prayer, follows it.
I have a question, Lama Tashi.
Amy has a question.
Okay?
Sorry, what are we visualizing as we're saying this? I'm not totally clear.
Whatever Lama that you have, whatever your most prevalent representation of instruction, or whatever lineage you're following, that head of that lineage, you could say the Dalai Lama Chendo, any representation powerful that has compassion, power, insight. Chendo means that all of that penetrate your stream of being and all beings. The main part of this practice is that all beings are entering into this Buddha field through your practice. That's the accomplishment of Guru Yoga. No other form of practice on this planet, spiritual practice, does this.
Do we do the Guru Yoga when we connect the Om Ahung with our Lama or deity in front? Is that?
Absolutely, that's direct Guru Yoga transmission.
Oh, okay.
That's Chenno defined. If you say Om Ahung, that's Chenno defined. Mind of bliss. In other words, Chenno Om Ahung means body, speech, and mind is established as a Buddha to receive this download. That's why we call the Om Ahung the password. And
So you see,
Buddha field as the link. What's the password do? Get you in. What's the link do? Download. So this is a downloading practice. So you can have any representation of the Dharma, any lineage too. In this case, we use Kagyu lineage because it's the most powerful. We have 12 living masters on the planet today. And I mean lineage holder masters. They've all taken rebirth, and 4 of them are women. So Kagyu lineage, very powerful. You can see that in Vancouver. Look at that. Trangu Rinpoche's monastery, one woman, $21 million. Pooh, like nothing. That's power. That's spiritual power manifesting. And it's no big deal. Gives you a place you can go exercise, walk around, do the prayer wheel, generate merit, benefit living beings. That answer your question? That's that manifested from the protectors. These manifestations, Buddha activity, the protectors do it. The Lamas don't have to do anything. We just relax, take it easy. Really? Yes, that's very good to be a Lama. You got to work to it once you get there. Not really a state of retirement, though. You just relax. No, retired.
Can we do the practice, the Cheno practice,
Which one?
Karmapa Cheno, like maybe 21?
Okay, we'll say this first.
Oh, okay.
Marang Karang Yampe Semchen Lama Rinpoche Laso Wadepso Marang Karang Yampe Semchen Tamche Lama Kumcha Choki Laso Wadepso Marang Karang Yampe Semchen Tamche Lama Dechen Lutcher Supe Laso Wadepso Marang Karang Yampe Semchen Lama Tuche Tupe Laso Wadepso. So all we're changing in every line is the reference of either Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, or the Nirmanakaya, or the Buddha. Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno, Karmapa Jeno. Now you have to count these two. This and the 4-line manam you have to count to accomplish this practice. Only 111,111, doesn't take long. A lot easier than saying karma chano meki ku, dharma chano meki ku, dharma chano meki ku, or karma svaha vikakaya, like that. You think all beings receive this download of the Karmata's mind, any Lama's mind. Dranguru Vijayjano, Dranguru Vijayjano, Dranguru Vijayjano, Dranguru Vijayjano, Dranguru Vijayjano, Dranguru Tashi to Vijayjano, Tashi to Vijayjano, Tashi to Vijayjano, Tashi to Vijayjano, Tashi Jano, Tashi to Jumping Control to Tai Jano, Lama Richa Jano, Lama Richa Jano, Lama Richa Jano, Lama Dalai Lama Jano, Dalai Lama Jano, Dalai Lama Jano, Dalai Lama Jano, Dalai Lama Jano. Lama Santin Jano, Lama Santin Jano, Lama Santin Jano, Lama Santin Jano. Lama Gelson Jano, Lama Gelson Jano, Lama Gelson Jano. So that means all lamas are Buddhas. Kunjab Juki Kula. So that means all the lamas are the Dharmakaya, the universe. So that means all the lamas are the great bliss and energy of Yida, whatever Yida, peaceful or wrathful. May all beings in the space who have been their mother's great alone. The compassion, loving kindness, power, and insight of the Nirmanakaya. That means all lamas who are teachers, men or women, of any lineage, are these first three things, all incorporated. So each of these you do 111,000 times. Then sit at the end of this session of reciting in voidness. You take all of the energy of your speech, all the energy of all being in these four things, these four aspects of the Buddha, all of that, dissolve it into your heart center. If you use the sea salt phone, it's okay. Then go directly to clear light cognizance, being present, alert, and relaxed. And continue at the bottom of page 46. I pray to the precious Lama, grant your blessing so that my mind give up ego claim. That means dualistic fixation. That means thinking that everything separate and emotionally involving yourself with it. Grant your blessing so the contentment may arise in my being. This simply means that no matter what arises, you're relaxed. Grant your blessing so that the non-dharmic thoughts may cease. So that means anything negative, harmful, or obscuring to your being becoming a Buddha or Bodhisattva disappear. Grant your blessing so that my own mind be realized as unborn. This means no beginning, middle, or end to your process. Grant your blessing so that the illusion may be pacified in itself. Stop thinking that whatever you're perceiving to be real. Grant your blessing so that phenomena be realized as the Dharmakaya. That means the whole universe is the Buddha field. Glorious and holy Lamas, bestow on me the four empowerments. That's the Om, Ah, Hum, and all three together in union in the heart center. These the mature one into a Buddha. Grant your blessing so that the four streams of my being quickly mature. That's body, speech, and mind, and all three together. Grant your accomplishment of the four types of Buddha activity. Actually, there are five. It starts with creation, creating, then destroying negativity, then accomplishing clarity, then extending that into what we call equanimity or enrichment, and finally magnetizing what is useful or appropriate. Those are the four Buddha activities. If you want to accomplish those four, the protector is the easiest and fastest method. Having prayed in this way, the assembly melts into life and is absorbed into the main figure, the root Lama. His own nature is the union of all the rare and sublime ones. That means every representation of a Dharma teacher, past, present, or future, is the Chendo. And these appear truly and clearly as the Lama. From his forehead, beams of white light radiate. They are absorbed into my forehead and purify the obscuration of the body. I now receive the base initiation, the empowerment to meditate on the development stage and become a fortunate one who attains its result, the Nirmanakaya. So that means you now become an earth teacher. From his throat, beams of red light radiate. They're absorbed into my throat, purifying the obscurations of speech. That means that psychic energy that enters into your body through these practices affects your every exhale for your speech, so you become powerful. I received the secret initiation, the empowerment to meditate on nadis and pranas and become a fortunate one who attained the result of Sambodhakaya. That's the yidam. From his heart, beams of blue light radiate. They are absorbed into my heart, purifying the obscurations of the mind. I now receive the initiation of the supreme and transcendent knowledges, and then meditate on union. That means body, speech, and mind all in one place as a bodhisattva or a Buddha. I become a fortunate one to attain its results, the Dharmakaya. That means your mind and the universe merge. From the three places, white, red, and blue beams of light radiate. They are absorbed into my three places and purify the doors of activity. I now receive the fourth initiation, the empowerment to meditate on Mahamudra. I become a fortunate one who attain the results, the Svaha Vikakaya. Svaha Vikakaya is Chenno. Svaha Vikakaya means that all in one. That's the 5 Dhyana Buddhas, actually. The Lama dissolves into light and absorbs in me. My body, speech, and mind become the Lama's three visors of body, speech, and mind, and are inseparable in one essence. Having these three modes of being entered into unity, they are spontaneously self-liberated. At this point, there's a parentheses with 3 dots inside. That means nothing whatsoever. So you relax. Such is the 4 extraordinary preliminary practices. Nundro, prostrations with refuge, Vajrasattva purification, making the mandala offering, or all forms of offering, and this 4 mana. Then we say the dedication prayer. Geji, Jowa, Malu, Dorje, Sam, Akte, Chapshe, Dorwe, Chime, Ching, Nanki, Lame, Dorje, Rovari, Jani, Chigon, Pamso, Shirga. In this virtue, I pray all beings without exception experience the undying state
Of permanent.
of permanent bliss by merging supreme knowledge and method and come to realize Dorje Senpai. Dedicating this merit of traveling the inner Vajra path may be granted at the stage of Buddhahood. And the final prayer is Dewa Deyi Nirdu Da Chagya Champo Drupya Ne Jowa Ching King Malu Pa Deyi Sala Gopar Sho Sanjay Kusum Nimpe Jemma Da Shoni Nidru Tempe Jemma Da Kendu Miche Dumpai Jemma Kish Jitar Goma Momam Drupar Sho. By this virtue, having realized Mahamudra, may quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state. Through the blessing of the Buddha who attained the 3 kayas, through the blessing of the unchanging truth of the Dharma, and through the blessing of the unwavering aspirations of us, the Sangha, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. So that's why we have that dedication prayer at the bottom of the refuge sheet. All the virtues that flow from this practice may all beings who see, hear, recite, or touch it be born in a pure land of great bliss. May the Karma Kagyu teachings blaze in splendor on this planet spread far and wide and become the adornment of this world, whether the beings on it like it or not. Uppity, huh? Uppity. Gotta be a little uppity. Simple. So when you're doing this practice, those lineage teachers were the ones that transmitted and did this practice from the time the Shakyamuni in India. That was all the Indian masters, men and women. Then the transmission went from, actually started in what is, what do we call it, Sri Lanka? No. Afghanistan. Then spread through all the Himalayan countries all the way to Bhutan. So all those countries became the receiver of this lineage practice. Then 7th century, then Karmapa jumped over the mountains and took them into Tibet. And his consort, Geshe Sogyal, spread them all over Tibet and Mongolia. She lived a very long time. Sometimes that happens. Like the Dalai Lama says he's going to live to 113. I like it when he says stuff like that. If he dies tomorrow, you know he's a liar. But I think he will live to be 113. Myself, I'm going to live to 114. I'm going to help. I had the good benefit of Lama Rinchen being left on Maui in 1974, and then he started the practices there, then went to Honolulu, then he came back to Maui. Eventually, 1977, Kala Rinpoche came, and he set up practice in Huelo on Maui, which is on the North Shore, set up a Dharma center. And I lived close by, so they were my friends already, those people, so that's how I started. And when he did retreats, I joined the retreats. The first one, I didn't volunteer to join. I was kind of, they twisted my arm. But being a stoned hippie, I had nothing better to do, so I received this transmission in that retreat.
The entire Nundro?
No, just the preliminary practices of 4 ordinary and prostrations and Vajrasana. And then Lama Rinchen had me practice those extensively with the 4 wishes. Now be happy, free, and suffering. But Lama Rinchen says, if you do just this much, then all the doors of the Dharma will open. Just that much. And if you get to the mandala offering, then you acquire whatever you need to do more practice. Then if you do Guru Yoga, then that's it. That's the head of meditation. So then you got all the lineage masters. And since we're remade, which means non-sectarian, we don't only use the Kagyu lineage, we do Nyingma lineage, Kaglupa lineage, Kadampa lineage, Sakya lineage. These are all the ones that survived the Chinese takeover. All the other lineages died out because the Chinese killed the lineage master.
How many were there before?
Uncountable. There was 6,000 monasteries and 2,000 to 3,000 nunneries.
So there was like 1,000 lineages?
Well,
Well,
no,
okay,
maybe 20.
20.
Yeah. How the lineage got established is from that part of Tibet, that man or woman went to India and received the transmission. That's 10th century. That's how before that, the only way the lineages were all Mapa up to the 10th century. Geshe Sogyal, she went all over Tibet. So that lineage was all Tibet and part of Mongolia. That was her doing. But she was really powerful.
Wasn't there some Lama that came along that was tired of all the separate
Japan control
and joined all the
18th
lineages?
century.
Okay.
That's a late date. That's when the West transmission was going to Europe and the United States.
Okay.
So he saw that. So he says, you got to stop this lineage crap. You're outside of your boundaries now. You don't need to have the support of the local farmers. Your support is going to come from these rich Europeans and Westerns. So all lineage is the same. So
Really?
these blended.
So that became remake?
remake. The color Rinpoche, 100% remake. It says one Lama, high, low, good. Don't discriminate. So, we don't. But this is transmitted, this is all printed. See, it even says Rime O Salve. That's the Maui Dharma Center. Rime, non-sectarian, clear light. Sal, place, ling, practice. See? So that's the Maui Dharma Center. Kala Rinpoche started that. And Kala Rinpoche says, Lama Rinpoche has to stay in Honolulu. I said, well, we don't have a Lama on Maui. He says, too bad. I said, what do you mean too bad? We want a Lama here. I want Lama Tenzin. You brought him here? I know he's to this center. So 3 times I had to follow Kala Rinpoche around, asking him that. Lama Tenzin from Maui. Lama Tenzin from Maui. He kept bugging me. I went all the way to New York. Finally he says, well, our last transmission is going to be given in Los Angeles. How is he going to get from Los Angeles to Hawaii? I said, well, we'll pick him up at the airport and bring him here. And then who's going to take care of him? Well, we are. He says, you vow to do that? I said, yeah, for life. Oh, he says, okay, you can have Lama Tenzin. Lama Tenzin, you're going to Maui. Lama Tenzin said, nah. He didn't want to go. Nah.
Where did he want to go?
Back to India, back to Saddam.
Oh,
So that's how the Dharma got it. I'm very uppity when it comes to Dharma. Like, as long as they can ask me for anything, if I can furnish it, I do that. There's no other game in town as far as I'm concerned. So when you do these practices, then you move from the Nungro practice into the 5 Dhyana Buddhas or the 5 elements. Now, the 5 elements are actually the basis of the body support, and the 5 Dhyana Buddhas are the basis of the mind support. But these two are inseparable. And the transmission of the preliminary practices establishes that. You're receiving the body, speech, and mind transmission of all the Lama, past, present, and future. All of them. Everywhere in the universe. They kind of located to the Kagyus here. Dharmakaya, everywhere. That's a lot. So get ready. Mind opening. You know, when you do this elemental practice, when we go through the stages of setting the heart chakra and then putting the symbol out here and then making us inside, the real practice is when you start expanding the consciousness to your city where you live, the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, and then the entire universe. That's the mind opening. That's what you're increasing your capacity. You know, to think that you're going to be on this planet for very long is ridiculous. This planet's going to disappear. Wow. You get into a time and situation, snap of a finger is 1 trillion years. You don't know. The whole galaxy could come and disappear, and we're still hanging out? I don't think so. Lots of galaxies. Once you're free of this encumberment of an eye, you can go anywhere in the universe in an instant. Beep, do that. That's the power of the mind. And that takes some getting used to. Om Ma Hum Tron Ri, Ram Lam Vam Yam Lam. Memorize. Oh yeah, memorize the whole Nungro. That's what Lama did. You gotta memorize. In Tibetan, he said, yeah, you gotta all that, you gotta memorize. What about the refuge? Yeah, you gotta go follow them, I said, Mama, I'm a dope smoking hippie. I don't have no memory. Gotta memorize. You just do it till you used to play the piano, then you didn't need the music anymore. This is just like that. Now you're playing the Lungro. This is your new piano. And you will like it. Right. There's a mall. And when I want to smoke dope, you come to my tent. Sits there and he reads some Tibetan back and he bonks me on the head with the word.
And tells you what?
Quit smoking dope. I'm taking the poison and the medicine together. Now quit.
That was like when you were doing Vajrasattva and still spear fishing.
Yeah. But then I had to stop speaking.
You're just killing things.
Well, I was bringing it.
Vajrasattva.
I mean, bring him to the retreat. Say, look, I got fresh fish. Oh, I didn't. I said, Mama, I didn't kill this for you. I killed it for everybody. Eat, not eat. Here's a steak over here I got from the store. Lobster, group. I could get down there. 80 feet. Lyra can do that now.
Really?
Yeah, she can get down there.
Wow.
Oh, she's got it. You haven't seen the one on. Is that one?
Oh, running with a rock.
Yeah, she's, you know, the way Hawaiians used to treat. They go underwater with a big rock to build up their breath, and they wouldn't die when the waves, the surf got them. So there's a picture of Lyra running with a rock underwater in about 20 feet of water.
Hard to do.
Almost impossible.
I tried it once.
I mean, even, you know, the rock, of course, is light underwater. It pulls you down. There she is, running along the bottom. How many thousand hit?
40,000.
40,000 hit.
What's the, it's on YouTube?
No, it's not.
It's on, not Facebook, but the other one.
Not Snapchat.
Instagram? Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Amazing.
Where do we search to find it?
Then at the end of the run, she just drops her rock, swims up to the surface. That's the end of the run. You know it can't be fake.
Who is videoing?
Oh, she had
A
a
friend.
GoPro.
Yeah.
Friend.
Another diver.
Oh, another diver.
A photographer.
Oh, photographer.
Yeah.
Is this the free diving that she did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that course.
80 feet. I used to use a
It's a good skill.
15-pound weight belt.
Mm.
Have a string tied to it to float.
Wow.
Okay. Then I dive, the weight belt to get me down there. Then I release the weight belt, 80 feet. The deeper you go, the longer you can hold your breath
Oh,
because it compresses the oxygen
interesting.
bloodstream. But you still got to time your dive to get back to the surface. That's where a lot of divers lose it. They black out. No, that's a no-no.
It's a dangerous sport.
It isn't.
Lama, Tashi, did Kalu Rinpoche speak English?
No, Lama Tenzin didn't speak English. I had to steal Lama Rinpoche's translator away from him. Georgiana Cook. He wasn't very happy. But I talked her into coming to Maui and checking out Lama Tenzin. And they two hit it off, so she stayed on Maui. She's still there. Lama Rinpoche was furious. You stole my translator. I said, yeah.
So Kalu Rinpoche always had a translator with him?
Oh, yeah. The first translator I met was a woman from Berkeley who based her thesis on the Nungro, translating it into English. Amazing, huh? Then she traveled with Kalu Rinpoche wherever he went for about a year.
But then he had a van.
Then he got a man, Chuki Nima was his name. And he was a Lama. He became a Lama. The translator is equal to the Lama, because everything the Lama says, translator memorized. So they're called Lotsawa. Lotsawa Lama equal, Yidam Lama equal, Protector Lama equal, Lama equal, any Lama. So whatever respect you have, you must have for the translator.
Georgiana is.
I'm not a translator. I'm an interpreter. There's a big difference. I don't know what the name for interpreter is.
Georgiana's phenomenal as a translator. Elegant,
And
just.
Does Lotsawa mean eyes of the world?
in Tibetan, it means person who speaks the Dharma, hears him speak.
Mm.
Eyes and ears of the Lama. Eyes, ears, and speech.
Because they called Marpa,
Yeah.
Marpa Lotsawa.
Yeah, Marco was a translator and an interpreter. Then his wife also. Actually, his wife was smarter than he was.
Really?
Yeah, she trained Milarepa. He didn't. All he did was give the empowerment. But his wife was a training. It's kind of like this Dharma Center. Abby does all the work. I just hang out.
Oh, mahalo, Abby.
And when Milarepa went into seclusion in the mountains, the wife said, "You can't hide." Marpa told him to go up there and get lost, but she told him, "No, you can't do that. You have to be available. Make yourself available to people to learn the Dharma. They'll come up there where you are." So, without women in the Dharma doesn't have a chance. Like in our retreat, we had 10 women. They ran the retreat. Everything they did, we did.
Did they do bets?
They did everything. They had their own, everything we did, they did. Yeah, very powerful. But they had intuitive awareness developed on a higher level than us guys. They were sending us information that we didn't even have a clue about, according to the text and stuff. So I'm just saying that. That's
Did they also develop power?
all of them did. 4 or 5 of them became transferred.
No, I mean powers over matter, like you said that you.
Oh, I don't get into that. Worldly powers, everybody wants worldly power. And without insight and compassion, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. So that's it for tonight. Any more questions?
Oh, no, thank you so much. Lama Tashi, I am going to get to go to Medicine Buddha Empowerment with the Dalai Lama. I'll leave on Thursday. Yes, it's going to be in Westminster, California.
Very nice.
So I'll miss class on Thursday, but
You can't miss class. You can't go.
oh dear.
But are you doing the practice?
Am I doing the practice? The Medicine Buddha?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, this
Yes.
will greatly enhance your practice.
Oh, yes. I'm very, very thankful. And I'll be with my friend Lama Kempo. So that'll be interesting.
He's the one from there?
He lives in Kona now.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 Lama temples in Hawaii.
She said Kempa.
Well, his name is Kampa Choki Geltsen, but I call him Lama Kempo because he's a Kempo.
Oh, I see, Kempo. Yeah, Kempo, that's knowledge holder. Very powerful Lama.
I think he holds like a master's degree in Buddhist philosophy.
Kempo.
That's what it means.
Doctorate. Might even be higher than master.
He served as a disciplinarian in his monastery in India.
Hard job.
Well, so I guess that's why we're friends.
Good one. Good karma. Very good karma.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to do this because it's my birthday as well. So I figured the Dalai Lama kind of arranged all this.
Nice.
I'll do one final reading from the Clarity book. It starts off that in training, you must understand that everything belongs to the world and being of samsara and nirvana. And all of this is simply the play, dance, and adornment of self-knowing, awakened mind. It is experiencing nothing other than that. So do not attach to your experiences. This is like failing to find a single ordinary stone or cloud of dirt when you have arrived on an island of pure gold. Likewise, as everything is utterly subsumed within this expand of a single sphere, it is an originally free, Dzogchen mind of bliss beyond any construct or concept. You can find this clearly explained in all the writings of the Buddhas. The fact is that nothing was created, and the only interest of the Buddhas is that understanding this, one attains the state of clear light, and in this state becomes of great benefit to all living beings who will someday enter that state. So that's as simple as we can put it. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. When you use your ball, use your left hand. Om Mani Padme Hum for the many people that were killed in Orlando. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And Om Mani Padme Hum for anybody involved in that type of harmful activity, and the person, the perpetrator. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Duchiche. Thank you, mahalo, everybody. The Dalai Lama's religion is loving kindness.